Hey, welcome to Think Thursday from the Alcohol Minimalist Podcast. Think Thursday is all about your beautiful, brilliant human brain. We're talking neuroscience. We're talking behavior change. We are talking about your mindset. Are you ready to get started? Let's go. Hey there, welcome to Think Thursday from the Alcohol Minimalist. I'm your host, Molly Watts, and I am revisiting an episode this week, one that I think is particularly important. This one originally aired back in January. You'll hear me reference people doing dry January or dry-ish January, and just really the talk of making new habits. And while habit formation is something I talk about all the time, the focus of this episode is hydration. And it's important all the year round, but especially important for those of you that live like I do in the Northern Hemisphere. It's summertime here, and in Oregon this week, we're going to be hitting some high temperatures up in the 90s. When the weather is hot, hydration is even more important for your body, but especially for your brain. And this episode focuses all on how hydration impacts the brain, so I thought it was worth revisiting. I hope you're having a great week, everyone. I will see you on Monday. Hello and welcome to Think Thursday from the Alcohol Minimalist. I'm your host, Molly Watts, and Think Thursdays are all about your brain, your beautiful, brilliant human brain. We talk about mindset, we talk about neuroscience, we talk about brain health. And today we are diving into, literally, you'll understand why I'm saying diving here in a minute, a topic that is very, very important for your brain's overall health, for your cognition, and that is hydration. We are talking about the brain on water. Did you know that even mild dehydration, just a 1% drop in your body water, can impact your focus, your memory, and your reaction time? It's actually true. And that is why this is such an essential thing for us to talk about. And the thing is that hydration is key to cognition. And I talk all the time about becoming a better thinker, about how we manage our minds. And when we think better, we feel better. When we feel better, we take better actions. And when we take better actions, we get better results in our life. So if you do not think that cognition is very important, you're simply wrong. And the thing is that we can impact our cognition so much by simply not staying hydrated. Now, many of you I know are taking January as an opportunity to prioritize alcohol free days, doing a dry January or a dry ish January. Regardless, hopefully you are taking this opportunity this month to reduce your alcohol intake, and some people are doing better, are looking and have resolutions about exercise, about fitness, about their diet. I really want you to consider making a resolution now, if you haven't already, about staying hydrated. And talking about and looking at what that actually means is kind of what we're going to do today, because one of the most powerful things that you can do for your brain is to stay hydrated. Let's start with some basics. Our brains are roughly 73% water. That's a lot, right? And it means that water isn't just something that we need for survival, though obviously it is, but it is fundamental to how our brains operate. When we are dehydrated, even slightly, the brain's efficiency drops. And studies have shown that dehydration can cause difficulty focusing, impaired short-term memory, trouble recalling long-term memories, and slower reaction times, and basically reduced ability to perform like even things like basic calculations. And these aren't just minor inconveniences. They can significantly impact your day-to-day life. Imagine you're trying to navigate your busy workday, and you've got a challenging personal situation happening at the same time, and
if your brain is operating at a lower capacity just because you haven't had enough water, that's going to be hard for you to do all of it. I know for myself, this I have been taking a medication that is known for causing like dry mouth. So I have been like maybe drinking more, just or it feels like I'm dehydrated. I don't even really know if it's actually causing dehydration or if it's just causing my mouth to feel like it. But regardless, I know that I have been drinking more because of it. And I notice a difference when I am not, especially like I said, right now, if I don't, I definitely feel that foggy brain. But when I drink water consistently over the course of a day, I definitely notice a difference in my energy levels and my clarity of thought. And it's really amazing how quickly our brains respond to hydration. So, super important. And when the body loses too much water, it disrupts the delicate balance that our brain cells need to function optimally. This imbalance affects those beautiful neurotransmitters. I talk about neurotransmitters often here on the podcast. And that leads to that cognitive decline on just our neurotransmitters are basically what's making our brains turn off, turn on, and they are consistently striving to stay in homeostasis. When we have not enough water, we are out of balance. Research has shown that even that 1 to 2% drop in body water can result in noticeable cognitive impairment. Now, that's not a lot of water difference, but it could make up a very big, you know, situation for you in terms of cognitive impairment. It could happen after just a couple of hours without water. And especially if you are in an active, if you're participating in some sort of active activity or you are in a warm environment, those things could add to your level of dehydration and your cognitive impairment. And here's something else that you should know about specifically about alcohol and water. For every 1 gram of alcohol consumed, your body expels 10 milliliters of water. That's why after a few drinks, you are running to the bathroom more often, and why you might wake up feeling dehydrated. And so, obviously, we talk about drinking water and specifically drinking water maybe as a tool for pacing out when you are including alcohol in your life, but it's super important for the hydration factor as well. And it's not just about thinking clearly. Hydration also impacts your mood. Dehydration can lead to feelings of confusion, tiredness, and even mild depression. And on the flip side, studies have found that drinking water can improve mood. So it can make you feel calmer and more alert. And this connection makes sense when you consider that dehydration affects oxygen flow to the brain. It forces your heart to work harder to deliver oxygen rich blood when you are dehydrated. So I think we have, covered here why dehydration is a problem, why water is so important to the brain. And now let's talk about some tips for actually staying hydrated. Because if you're anything like me, drinking water can feel like it's challenging throughout the day, which I think is kind of ironic. And some people are like, no, it's really easy for me. I, for one, am someone that has a little bit of a problem remembering to drink my water. Now, here are some practical tips if you're like me. Number one, start early. That's right. Get up and maybe after, first of all, after sleeping, your body is naturally dehydrated. So jumpstart your hydration as part of your morning routine. Make it the first thing you do. Drink a glass of water. Now, I know some people have said, well, if I drink a glass of water, it upsets my stomach. I don't know. You've got to navigate that for yourself, but I really want to encourage you to make water part of your morning routine. Number two, make it accessible. Keep water nearby throughout the day. Obviously, we all know a reusable water bottle can serve as a visual cue. I think everybody has their own, version of a water bottle these days. I feel like that should be the case. Definitely want one that is steel, not made out of plastic, or something that's BPA free, and keep it near you. Number 3, flavor it up. You can add things, slice of lemon, cucumber, splash of fruit juice into your water. Keep it interesting. There's lots of, um, there's tons of things that you can add to your water. I've done all of them. I've done like drops, I've done powders. It doesn't really matter. Honestly, if you're getting if you're getting more water, the trade-offs are worth it. Definitely set a goal. Aim for about 8 cups, 2 liters a day. We hear 64 ounces. It really depends on what your goals are. If you're trying to lose weight, you're going to want to up that number. You definitely want to uh, look for different options online in terms of what your specific goals are. But for everyone, we definitely want to have at least 2 liters a day. And your needs may change depending on your activity level, the climate, your diet, etc. The way that we check ourselves is the color of our urine. Light yellow indicates that you are well hydrated. Darker tones suggest that you need more fluids. And that's pretty much the easiest way to know if you are getting enough water. You can use an app. Consider using a hydration tracking app like Water Reminder, and that will send you some gentle notifications to keep sipping throughout the day. And, I don't think there's anything wrong with using reminder tools. We use apps around here all the time on the big podcast. You all know I'm a big fan of Sunnyside in terms of tracking alcohol. You can use a reminder to help you remember to drink more water. I try to drink a glass of water first thing and every morning. I will say that sometimes I incorporate that with taking medicine that I take a daily medication pill as well that I need to take. So it's kind of one of those things. I used to just take like a sip of water to take that medicine. Now I am making myself drink a whole glass of water. And I find that to be just an easy way to get myself started on drinking more water throughout the day. Now, as alcohol minimalists, we often talk about breaking habits that no longer serve us and making more mindful choices. The thing that we know about our relationship with alcohol is many people tend to reach for alcohol and they think they're doing it maybe out of a response of stress or boredom. What if part of that impulse, though, is actually being driven by thirst? I think that happens for people as well. The thing is that, as we've talked about, alcohol is actually a diuretic, which means that it encourages the body to lose fluids. The initial drink might seem like it's quenching your thirst, but it's actually making your dehydration worse. And this can lead to a vicious cycle. You think you're helping because you're drinking more beer, and you have a drink, you get more dehydrated, and then you want another drink and you think you can see the problem, right? The thing of it is that that's another good reason we want to make sure we are drinking water along any time that we are including alcohol in our days. During dry January or dryish or damp or however you're doing it, this is really the perfect opportunity to rework those old habits. And so really ask yourself, instead of reaching for the glass of wine at the end of the day, let's make it a glass of water instead. And make that your first choice, your first option. Just make it non-negotiable. Before I drink anything else, I'm going to have a glass of water when I come home through the door at the end of the day. And you might find that it not only satisfies that craving, but of course, we're getting it without any negative consequences, and we're helping our brains stay hydrated. You might actually find it easier to curb urges and cravings when you drink water first. And if you do choose to drink, remember to alternate with the alcoholic beverages with water, and that will help you guard against that potential dehydration and give your brain a chance to catch up. And so I hope that you understand how how important water is, not only to your overall health and well-being, but especially your brain. And you can make a dedicated effort on deciding to include more water in your life. So we're going to include less alcohol and more hydrated, and I mean more water to stay better hydrated. And I think you're going to notice that when you do this, not only does your brain function better, you're able to think better, which is going to help you take those better actions, but you might also notice that it is easier to stick to your alcohol-free days or those lower alcohol goals. It's such a small change in terms of really relative ease of behavior, but it makes a huge difference. So this week, I want you to do two things. First, I would love to see you start tracking your water intake. Doesn't have to be complicated, just jot it down. How many glasses of water are you drinking each day? And really, number two is I want you to notice how you feel when you are well hydrated compared to when you are not. Are you thinking more clearly? Is your mood better? Really pay attention to these changes and notice it's really your body's way of thanking you for giving you what you need, what it needs. Really important for us to notice as we are trying to work on habits, work on long-term sustainable behavior change, to pay attention when things feel better. We so often don't take any notice of ourselves when things are going well. We only notice when things go wrong. And it's important as we work on behavior change to notice those small wins. I really want you to go ahead and take action this week. Share your thoughts with me. Come into the Alcohol Minimalist Facebook group. Let's hear how you are doing with, your brain on water. I'd love to hear about it. If you are making those changes, staying better hydrated, and I want to hear what you're noticing, how it's helping, and if you do notice the difference, because it's important to your brain. Thank you so much for listening to Think Thursday. Remember, your journey to a peaceful relationship with alcohol starts with taking care of yourself, and that includes staying hydrated. I will see you next time on Monday. Until then, choose peace, my friends.